CITW is a great church for me because it emphasizes more about service than it does about the services. You're actually kind of able to get out in the world and put to practice the things that we learn here in the building. So it's a great change for me to get out of the consumer type church and into a church that's really active in its community, really active in seeking diversity and changes in the communities that it's in.
Church in the Wild seeks to restore what's been lost. God sent His Son to heal a broken world through sacrificial love. And for hundreds of years, Christ followers had an amazing impact. Christians were known for their calm faith and their surprising kindness and generosity. Church buildings didn't exist. Churches were gatherings of disciples that often met in homes. And their faith was credible, and it spread despite opposition. Christianity was untamed, and it thrived in the wild. But then everything changed. Emperors made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, and the government forced people to believe in Jesus. The church became an institution that was preoccupied with its own power. This government sponsorship tamed Christianity. It became inwardly focused instead of loving people like Jesus. Most Christians were no different than anyone else. They focused on themselves, not on the love that Jesus wants to flow from Him to others.
The good news is that God never gives up on us. The Holy Spirit inspired many Christians to make the church more like Jesus.
Some Christ followers have even started to do church in the wild. They don't necessarily go to church every week. Instead, they try to be the church wherever they live, work, or play. They meet in someone's home, or at a park, or at a restaurant. They enjoy eating, playing, and praying together, inviting their neighbors to join them. Since they always look for ways to fulfill God's mission to bless other people, they call themselves missional communities. Whenever they gather for worship, they celebrate how God has used them to bless His world. A bold group of Christ followers has started a missional movement here in Melbourne. We call ourselves Church in the Wild.
We're so glad to be a part of Church in the Wild because it is like a great big family. And one of the things we're expecting is to have people join our group with more young families.
Church in the Wild is like a large family. We meet together every other week, but in the weeks leading up to it and between, we're able to get together and focus on what our smaller family wants to focus on and what we feel is most important, and but have the backing of a larger family behind us.
What has drawn me here is the sense of community that I felt when I first came here, and what's kept me here is the friendships that I've built here. I've built meaningful, deep relationships and friendships that I know will last me until I die. And that's something that I didn't always have before, and that's something that I have now, and that's something that I always cherish.
To actually walk as the followers of Jesus in the first century is just amazing. Doing this from a home perspective, getting to know people, having meals, it just opens up a whole new avenue for everyone. And I am particularly blessed in that I get to work with kids. I get to talk to them about Jesus.
So participating in Church in the Wild for me has been incredibly joyful. I invite neighbors over to my home, and honestly, I was surprised at how many people actually showed up when I invited them. I think that there is a strong desire that people have to be in community together. We're a pretty diverse group, and it's just so much fun to be together. And I find that it's an opportunity for me to share Jesus's love and grace with my neighbors. And in turn, I experience that as well.
Even though I go to another church, I'm also one of the Church in the Wild neighborhood gatherings member. I love Church in the Wild. I love the neighborhood gatherings. We have people from all walks of life, and we enjoy a meal together, and there's no criticism and there's no judgment. And when these people leave, they leave with a sense of hope that they can make it.
Church in the Wild is actually obeying the command of Christ to go into all the world and preach the gospel. And the whole idea is not to go far.
My personal mission is to help the needy regardless. And being part of Church in the Wild made me stronger to do my work.
After joining the Church in the Wild, I was really taken in by the way the church cares about you once you leave. My pastor is so into spreading Jesus' word, and he's so into his neighborhood and his community, and I found that to be just totally amazing. We just don't leave church. We take church with us wherever we go.
I'm Michael Carey, the pastor of Church in the Wild. Previously, I served 2 conventional churches. Now I'm excited to lead a group of Christ followers who also want to turn the concept of church upside down. So far, we formed 2 missional communities. One meets Nogales, the other on the beach side. Every 2 weeks, we share a meal or gather to help others. Both groups meet every other Sunday for worship. Go wild with us this October. On the 1st and 3rd Sundays, that's when we gather together to worship, and we use rented space behind the Starbucks that's near the intersection of US 1 and Nogales Boulevard. On the 2nd and 4th Sundays, join us for one of the barbecues that we're going to have. One is on October 8th at Carver Park in Nogales, the other October 22nd at Canova Beach Center. On the 5th Sunday, we will worship God by serving people who need our help. For more details, check out our website, churchinwild.com. Wouldn't it be cool if every neighborhood had Christ followers who didn't just go to church, but also sought to be the church wherever they live, work, and play?